Welcome back to the channel. This is Wasabi. This is a battle on the Siegfried line map, and we're following the 808 in his STB-1, the Japanese tier 10 medium tank. This is a battle in assault mode. If you're not familiar with that, the defending team has to basically protect their cap for 10 minutes. You can see the timer in the top right. This is not a 15-minute game, it's a 10-minute game. So a lot of players don't seem to realise that. And for the defending team to win, they just basically have to stay alive and not get capped out in that 10-minute time. The assaulting team has to basically kill all the enemy tanks from their perspective and or cap out in that 10-minute time frame. So it's a pretty tough game mode, but some players are just not completely aware of how this particular mode works and don't understand the tactics. So for some players, this is a good way to get a lot of damage. Anyway, so he's come up to this line here on the crest, which is basically gives you a hull down position. If he's in the STB-1, and again, if you're not familiar with the STB-1, it's got a track mechanism that allows the rear of the tank to tilt up, a bit like the way that the strip works. So it gives it excellent gun depression, and he's using that to his advantage. Now, critical thing here is awareness. Don't just sit in one spot and peek over. Always look to your flanks and see whether anyone's coming around. Spots the 430U, but it doesn't have enough time to get his gun depression working, and he doesn't really want to poke too far out in case that T30 that's on his left decides to put a shot into him. So basically, yeah, considered gameplay there, but he's reducing his risk. So now he's coming around here to right into the corner to see whether he can get a side shot into that T30, most likely, or whether that 430U is there. So he's just seeing the top of the T30 but not getting enough of the turret to put a shot in. He gets lit, so he pulls back, doesn't want to get artied. And he's also in a bit of a hard spot for the arty if he doesn't sit right on top of the hill there. Again, a risky shot there. He's really going for the commander's hatch, but doesn't go too far. He gets tabbed by the arty again. He's just going to wait this out and not use his consumables if he can help it until he really needs it. So just waiting for his crew to get unstunned and relocating. Now the EBR on his team has taken a bit too risky position and pays for it. So they're now 2 tanks all, but there's only 7 minutes left in the game, so there's still plenty of time in terms of defense to stymie the opposition, and they haven't pushed in too far yet. There's definite line you can see. They're into the town, but there's a lot of tanks facing them. And here he gets side shot on an object 257. Who hasn't really noticed him yet? Gets another shot in, so it takes him down to a 1-shot proposition, but doesn't get another shot. And he's up to 3.2k of damage already, so you can see, you know, the value of this position here, particularly for a medium tank, in terms of using your view range and gun accuracy. And particularly with this tank, the STB-1, this is ideal. It's not heavily armoured. You can see some holes in his tank already where he's taking the damage in. But its a real advantage is its hull down capabilities and picking over ridges and gun accuracy. So he's got 2 marks of excellence on this gun, so he's a good damage output on it. And he's just again taking up a position on top of a ridge line here, but looking for an opportunity which doesn't eventuate. So now looks like he's switching sides, using the mobility of his tank to get around and look for opportunities in the city. Just looking for angles here. Now again, this is a spot where because tanks come up through the middle of the gateway, there might be positions where they're looking in a different direction. He fires at the I-7, doesn't seem to hit. They could have just gone underneath. He managed to get in a hit on the lower plate. And again, another shot just on the I-7 as he angles and changes his pike nose to a flat. And there's T110E4 which, yeah, got a pretty strong frontal armor. He's probably not going to get through there, although he's using his heat rounds, but he gets the side of the E4 there, and still hasn't been spotted. So he's using this foliage here to basically get the lights and then pull back so that he's not shot. So it indicates the strength of the foliage there. The I7 is backing out, gets another shot on him. Will he get a reload before he gets down? No. Puts in a shot anyway, but yeah, that was a pretty low probability shot. Now, it was lit through that process, so he gets considered by the arty again. So that arty must see him as the only target, perhaps. But yeah, now he's just playing with a damaged driver, but his medkit's on cooldown already. So he managed to get another shot in on the E4. The E4 fires back but misses, which is fortunate. It's got a big alpha gun on that tank. And where are they? Okay, so they're one tank down, but there's only 4 minutes to go. So this is the way that assault tends to work out, that the assaulting team tends to run out of time. So the defense is all about putting up a strong enough fight that they can't progress, and that gets you to the win. So at this point, however, there's still a risk. They could easily push onto cap and cap in this time, so he's coming around here to the other flank to see whether there's opportunities. And you see what he's doing is getting as long a view range distance as possible. So he's coming right up to the back of the map here and trying to get a spot where he can snipe at the tanks on the outside without getting spotted. So again, because this is an assault game, oh, he does get spotted there, but will the enemy notice? Yes, well, the T-57 heavy did, and so the few shots came in, so he's getting right down that they won't have vision of him. But yeah, you won't find tanks right in the corner typically, because the starting position of the enemy tanks is out in the field. So unless they come up here and snipe from that side, which won't really do them much advantage, you're not likely to find tanks here. So it's relatively safe coming out here into this corner. So what he's just got to do is get into a spot where he's right at the edge of his view circle, and you can see on the mini-map where his view circle line is. So as long as those tanks are getting lit by the his team, then he'll get a line up on them. So again, just looking for opportunities. Now the I7 goes down, which is good. So there's now one tank up, but there's still a whole mess of tanks up there that should be spotted. So there's the E4. Now he's got the opportunity to get a side shot there. Now that just misses, I think. Otherwise that would have got him down to a one shot. And he's just coming out into the field now to see whether that gives him any opportunity, unless the T-57 even get a side shot on the turret, which he does. That T-57's got a lot of health left. Now the 808 is up to 5.8k of damage, just gone over 6k. So there's plenty of pickings here, and that T-57 doesn't really know where the shot's coming from. Well, he have an indication. It looks like he's been set on fire there. Now that gets in the kill. I'm not quite sure why that was a fire, but look, all the hit points are going to be taken. And he's got a shot in on just right at the top of the turret of the FE-215B183 tank destroyer. You can see where the mound of dirt is there. That's really the only bit of the top of the tank is what you can see. So he got some damage out of that, and there's one more spot of damage. Will he get the kill? Yes, he does. Alrighty, so they're now really well in command of this game. There are 4 tanks up, there's only 1 minute to go, and now 808 is coming down to the corner to see if he can find an arty. They've got 2 arty. Now it looks like there was one in each corner, just based on the directions. So it should be the M53, M55 down in this corner or somewhere nearby. So there's lots of little dips and depressions. You won't necessarily see until it's pretty close. There he is. Now what he wants is not to get tagged by the other arty while he's dealing with this one. M53 misses, and although he's lit, now he's just going to waggle around a bit to spoil the aim. But there's only 2 tanks left, the arty and the 430U. So 808's using his mobility here to push up to the top area of the map. He's on 8.6k. Can you get this over 9k? That's the question. 21 seconds left. This is going to come down pretty close. How much more damage can he do? 12 seconds. Nothing spotted yet. Oh, there's the 212. Gets in, 5 seconds to go. One shot. Is he going to get the reload? 1 second to go. Artie kills him, and that's the game. Let's have a look at the results. So that was an ace tanker mastery badge for his overall performance. He picked up a few bonds there, which would have been from probably the premium missions. Got the high caliber award for the amount of damage done, which is more than 20% of the total hit pool. 5 kills and 89.74 direct damage and 89 assisted. That was the Artie at the end, so just tipped him over 9k combined, which is just a great result there, heading towards his third mark. Base experience was 1304, so at tier 10 that is a really solid ace tanker, well in front of the rest of his team, who the highest damage there was 2800 damage. So yeah, the bulk of the damage there being done by the 808. The enemy team, the 430U, which lasted the longest, almost got to 5k, which yeah, good result there. 37 shots fired, 29 connected. There were a few rush shots there. 25 of the shots penetrated that connected. 3,000 damage done at more than 300 meters. That was intentional, just keeping at the edge of view range to save his own hit points there, and he still made a profit. Anyway, well done, the 808, great game.